What's the thing that I'm looking forward to the most in Pokemon Winds and Waves? Probably catching a Krabby, nicknaming him Sebastian, and diving under the sea. Really? You're such a millennial. That being said, the dive function does look pretty cool. Right, when they showed that you would be able to dive under the water, my inner child was freaking out. It took me back to playing Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. What they showed on the screen is exactly what it felt like and looked like when I was a kid. But I've played all those games, and it doesn't look anything like that when you use dive. No, it's what it looked like in my head, what I imagined it looked like, though I did kind of have an irrational fear of Sharpedo chasing me while I was under the water, and I kind of hope that that doesn't happen. Sword and Shield was bad enough. Wait, you can see stuff in your head, like an actual image? Yeah, can you not? Nope. Seriously? Here, just close your eyes. Try to picture yourself falling deeper and deeper into the ocean. Till your feet touch the bottom, you feel things swimming around you. You open your eyes. What do you see? Nothing. It's just black. I told you, I don't see anything. Huh, that's kind of weird. I've just always assumed that people could picture things in their head, but I guess that's not true. Yep, it's always been like that. I've never been able to see anything. However, the voices, now those I can hear. Oh, what? Wait, Volcarona's not considered a legendary? I always thought that he was. Nope, in fact, even if they gave Volcarona a middle stage evolution, he still wouldn't be considered a pseudo-legendary because his base stat total is only 550. Seriously, that's it? You mean to tell me that you have to grind Larvesta all the way to level 59? The third highest evolution level, by the way, from to not even be considered a pseudo-legendary? They did my boy dirty! Well, I already told you, even if I don't want to hear it, I just don't understand how a Pokemon like Volcarona isn't considered a legendary Pokemon, but Shaman is. Technically speaking, Shaman's a mythical Pokemon. Right, but mythical Pokemon are still considered legendaries. Your words, not mine. Besides, what even makes a Pokemon a legendary in the first place? Do you actually want me to answer that question, or? No, I don't. It's just, sometimes I really don't like Pokemon. Hey, I get it. You do? Yeah, in fact, I think that we've all been there. I personally thought that Absol should have been a legendary Pokemon, and when I found out that he wasn't, I was pretty devastated. So much so that I wrote a letter to Pokemon demanding that they made him one. Did they ever respond? Oh, but they did end up giving him a Mega Evolution. Not saying I'm the reason for that, but what you're saying is that if I'm ever upset with Pokemon, all I need to do is write them a letter and they'll fix it. That's genius! No, that's not at all what I'm... Oh, crap, he's gone. I got a really bad feeling about this. Unpopular opinion, but playing the Pokemon games with the sound off is way more enjoyable than playing with the sound on. Dang straight that's an unpopular opinion. In fact, you're probably the only person that has that opinion. I just get sick and tired of hearing the same sounds and music over and over again. Not to mention the fact that some of the Pokemon cries are hella annoying, so I just play with the sound off. Pokemon cries I completely understand, but route music, battle music, the low HP sound, if you're not playing with the sound on, you're missing out on the full experience. I played with the sound on once. It was during my battle with Cynthia. After that experience, I told myself I'd never play with the sound on again. Oh, I guess that makes sense. But what about when you're catching a Pokemon? How do you know if you've caught it if you can't hear the ball toggle back and forth? I watch it? Watch it? You mean to tell me that after you throw the Pokeball, you don't just look away? No, why would I do that? Because that's what you're supposed to do. After you throw the Pokeball, you're supposed to look away and spam the B button. Everybody knows that. You're not supposed to actually watch. Are these just rules that you're making up, or do people actually play this way? Because if so, y'all are weird. No, the only thing that's weird is the way that you play. No sound, you actually watch to see if you catch the Pokemon, and next you're probably going to tell me that instead of actually reading the dialogue, you just spam the B button to bypass it.